Here comes Fox 10 Talks, and boy, what a situation out on the US 60 early this morning. That is just a horrific looking crash. We have learned some additional information about what went down. This is in the far Northwest Valley. Complete shutdown of the highway between the Phoenix metro area and Wickenburg. What we're learning about that coming up. Also today on Fox 10 Talks.
Most of the time, that place is just packed with traffic, and there was nobody there. It looked like a runway. I swear, it was like the gods opened up the Red Sea. I made the decision to duck under it. Yeah, so I just said, we're going to go under the sign and land.
Yeah, that is the pilot who actually survived what a lot of people are calling a miracle crash landing. You're going to hear his story. We had a chance to talk to him extensively. Wait till you hear some of what he had to say about what went down there at 7th Street and Missouri. Also today on Fox 10 Talks, this is fascinating to me. A doctor has written a piece on the 2 things that women should do in each decade for their health, to start in their 20s, their 30s, their 40s, 50s, 60s. It's really fascinating if you want to have a long, healthy life. This is, I feel like, really good advice from her. And we have honest reviews of Bruno Mars. Concert number 1 was last night. A lot of folks still talking about it. Concert number 2 is tonight. And then a really interesting study came out about why small talk is so good for you. So that's all coming your way. One last thing to let you know about here before we get right into the heart of the program today, our news and conversation program. Grab this QR code and let us know what you think about this question. Democrats have announced they're going to plan to force a war powers vote in the House. Earlier, the thinking had been only if they knew they had enough votes to get it passed. They've had a few Republicans say they're interested in signing on, but now they're going to do it no matter what. So, good. We need to leave Iran alone and end the war now. 26% say that. 74% say it's bad, it's ending soon anyway, and we'll get a deal in place, most likely, to prevent them having nuclear weapons. One other option, it probably won't pass, but we can try. Trump should be working with the U.S. Congress. So again, grab that QR code and let us know what you think. Now, we've got plenty more to talk about. Political consultant Stan Barnes is going to join us in a few minutes to talk about the political fallout of the Eric Swalwell case. It sounds like he had a long-running friendship with Ruben Gallego, our senator here in Arizona. The senator spoke yesterday. We'll be talking to Stan about that a little bit later on, and also get from him his early take on where things stand in the governor's race. We've got a great one shaping up here in the state of Arizona. That's all coming your way. But let's get going here and tell you the latest we have learned on this crash. So reportedly, it happened at about 5 o'clock in the morning. Now, the sunrise is coming earlier and earlier. We have sun up by about, I think, around 5:50 a.m., but it's still pretty dark at 5 a.m., and it's not clear why this driver was not able to see this semi or slow down in time. Now, take a look at the back of the semi. Again, it's got one of those crossbars that you see on the backs of most trucks that would prevent a vehicle from rear-ending a semi-truck. However, it wouldn't necessarily work if you were headed directly on like a T-bone situation where the top of your vehicle could literally get sheared off. So we're hoping to learn some additional info as to how it actually happened. But obviously there was a fatality involved. It looks like it was the driver. We don't have any word yet if there were any passengers on board, but it was a grisly scene. And the main highway between Phoenix and Las Vegas was shut down. As a result, also I should point out, between here and Wickenburg, between here and Kingman as well, they were not able to get it reopened until about an hour ago. The westbound lanes heading into the city, into Phoenix, were reopened at about 8:45, and the eastbound lanes were reopened at a little after 9 this morning. So the word on that is that the highway has since reopened, but sadly we have a loss of life there, and we're hoping to learn a little bit more about it. So also this morning, a chance to talk about the pilot and talk with the pilot who performed that miracle crash landing on 7th Street. When we had a chance to talk to him, the things he had to say to us were really pretty remarkable. Take a listen here.
Basically, it was Sunday. We were sitting around and really didn't have much to do, and I suggested that we maybe take a little valley tour. We took off, climbed to 2,500 feet, got established into cruise. We made it up the west side, going north, where we made the turn on the other side of Van Buren there, and we were headed towards Camelback Mountain. And that's when we started to experience the indications in the cockpit. We had an indication of high RPM and a few other little indications. We lost control of the prop. I had made a decision I was going to divert to Sky Harbor, so I was beginning a southbound turn to the right to go to Sky Harbor, and I just reached down to dial in the frequency of Sky Harbor and declare the emergency when we lost power. And the engine basically just lost power, and I could see that we were slowly decelerating, maintaining altitude, and then I decelerated to my best glide. Once I realized that I wasn't going to be able to recover the engine, then I had to make a decision where we were going to land. And from that point forward, once I made that decision, it was a total focus on where we were going to land. At that moment, as I was in that right turn to Sky Harbor, 7th Street was right there, and I was looking almost basically straight down 7th Street. Most of the time, that place is just packed with traffic, and there was nobody there. It looked like a runway. I swear, it was like the gods opened up the Red Sea, and it was just open. So I said, okay, I'm landing right there, and that's where we're going to put the airplane. The focus was not hitting the wires, which would have been extremely tragic. I mean, you've seen these things on YouTube and all that. They hit the wires and fire and everything else. So that was the first consideration, and then in that turn, like I said, the sign. And once those two things were cleared, it was just a matter of putting the airplane on the ground, and we landed. It was a pretty solid landing, but we're all thankful. We're very thankful. The aviation gods were with us. We came to a stop. The guy says, "Well, I'm going to have to give you a parking ticket for parking in the wrong direction." we all laughed. Obviously, he was joking.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
a little sense of humor, and here it is one more time. I love what he said, Celeste. It was kind of like the Red Sea just opened up before me. Pretty incredible.
Oh, my goodness. And Burger Boys 25 says it as well. That man can fly me anywhere. I thought, can he come back out of retirement and go work for American Airlines again? Because if he was a pilot flying like those big jets, I mean, what an amazing guy.
You know, my son-in-law, married to my daughter, Michelle, up in Salt Lake City, her husband, his dad, is a recently retired Delta pilot.
Right.
He's in the prime of his life. They make these pilots retire at a mandatory age, and I think you're exactly right. everybody's living longer. I believe the
Yeah.
mandatory age nationwide is 65. Wouldn't it be okay to let them fly for another year or two?
I think so.
That guy is steady as it comes.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Seriously,
Wow,
I
it's
thought
amazing.
I loved everything he had to say, and
So great. Part of the Red Sea, Ron.
Yeah, I know
love
it.
that.
Okay, another big story this morning. Big fight in Scottsdale over a parking garage. Isabella joins us. I guess it is a pretty big deal in that city.
Yeah, so there's a great big parking garage debate, and we have a new update yesterday. So there was a meeting that was held, and in a 5-2 vote yesterday, the city approved to move forward with starting construction on this parking garage. Excuse me. And the reason that there's so much controversy is because half of the people are saying, we need parking in this area. If there's no parking, we're not going to be getting business. And the other part is saying this is going to mess up that Western Old Town feel that we cherish and that we enjoy. So some supporters include Councilwoman Kathy Littlefield, and she's arguing that the garage is a necessity rather than a luxury. And then she talks about, a decline in business. And then opponents, which include the mayor, have voiced concerns about the project's scale and necessity, saying that we don't need a parking garage this big and that they are relying on outdated 2015 data about parking. So besides the structure itself, the project is going to force a major shift in local culture. It's supposed to go in place of where the current farmers market is at, and that's why a lot of people are upset. That parking garage or the farmers market is going to move to the Civic Center, but
Bottom line, if customers can't park, they go somewhere else.
The farmers market needs to stay there. It's an economic driver that supports Old Town, and it's just too important to, build a 3-story massive garage that'll overshadow the last vestige of the historic Old Town.
Okay, but in the end, they voted and approved it.
yeah, and they're hoping to have construction finalized by next spring for spring training. So
Really? That fast?
Yeah, residents can already expect some traffic delays as well as, of course, the relocation of the farmers market.
You can barely get a house built in 12 months.
Yeah.
You're going to build a 3-story parking garage, and I guess that would be about 10 months.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
Maybe put some solar on the very top, try generate some
great
solar
idea.
energy, But they need it, and I'm not going to say this was like great or not great or whatever, but they did need a solution to parking in Old Town.
I agree.
It is one of the hottest cities in the entire state in terms of tourism. Draws so many different people walking through, and you just can't make it around or park anywhere.
Yeah, sometimes my friends and I avoid that area because we know there's not going to be parking.
Oh, is that right? It's that bad already?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm actually very excited about this garage.
All right. I think we just, here we're back. Okay. Wait a
Well,
little.
I was just showing the parking garage.
Oh,
Wait,
it went.
No, I had VO2. Stand
Yeah.
by, everybody. VO2 parking garage.
It went to black, but we're back, and we're back from black.
Yeah, we are. All right. So, Bella, thanks for the info on that.
You're
and
welcome.
yeah, if you've
Thank you,
struggled to
Bells.
find parking, looks like that'll at least be partially solved in the coming months. They're going to work on it fast. We get a lot more, including political consultant Stan Barnes. How's the governor's race shaping up? And what about Ruben Gallego? It's all coming your way next.
take on the governor's race, because it seems pretty 50-50 right now on stuff. So.
Well, there was a by the way, the mystery cam is coming your way at 10:30. Gives us a little chance to get into a few more news stories, but don't worry, everybody. Mystery cam coming your way at 10:30. But Celeste,
yes,
a chance for us to talk now about the kind of the political earthquake in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
You had a member, a Texas Republican, who resigned yesterday after allegations of an affair. Where the staffer then later committed suicide.
I think is Tony Gonzalez. Yeah.
Just a shocking story there. And every bit as shocking were the allegations that were leveled at Eric Swalwell, who many people thought might be the next governor of California. And so because of all of this, our Senator Ruben Gallego decided he needed to come out and at least try to make a statement.
Right, because Ruben Gallego is very good friends with Swalwell and has been, I believe he was on his campaign when Swalwell made a small run for president back in 2020. They've been very close friends. And so Ruben Gallego held kind of this impromptu press conference.
Right at his office.
And so we have some of that for you.
Swalwell have called you his best friend. You have never asked him about any of the rumors that have been swirling around Democratic politics of his inappropriate behavior?
I did. Look, we knew each other differently from everyone else. My family and his family were as close as it gets. Our kids were in baseball camp together. We had dinner together as a family. It was entirely different, I think, what people understand. But when there was rumors going around a couple weeks ago, not of the folks and whatever in San Francisco Chronicle, I did ask him, and he lied to me. He knew that I just came off a very, very hard campaign for 2 years, where they lied about me and my family for 2 years. He manipulated me to have the same sentiment that I was having back in the day and used as an opportunity to move me to defend him.
How did you not know about the allegations? So considering you chaired his presidential campaign, wouldn't some of this have come up? Some of those allegations predated when he ran for office.
Again, this man led a double life. He lied to us. He lied to his family, lied to his constituents. Some of the most powerful people in this country, even before he ran, he was trusted with some positions that normally we would never think someone like this could do if they're leading that double life. And again, I was manipulated, I was lied to, and everyone else was too.
Well,
you had some comments there from Congressman Ruben Gallego kind of coming forward, or Senator Ruben Gallego. We're joined by Stan Barnes now this morning with his thoughts on kind of the whole fallout and any future implications this could have for Gallego as well. Nice to see you, my friend.
Yeah, it's good to be on your show. I appreciate it. I have it on in my office as well, so I'm watching myself talk to you. Isn't that fun?
Well,
I like it.
You look pretty good, right?
That's how big time you are, Stan. What about this? I guess there are two schools of thought. I mean, one is get it out there, get all the information out. On the other hand, you're kind of inserting yourself and your comments into the coverage. What was your take on it?
Yeah, my take is that Senator Gallego's having a very bad day. This is not where he wanted to be. Only last week, there was more rumor and discussion and whisper about him making a presidential run. But today, that seems completely deflated. Now, I mean, the news cycle moves quickly, and perhaps this will all be forgotten. But I think folks that are paying attention, watching the impromptu conference, are if you're a supporter of Senator Gallego, you you're probably cheering him on and hoping he's going to keep his head down and get through this. And if you're an opponent of Senator Gallego, you're probably thinking that this is useful in the next campaign and that his credibility is taking a dramatic hit. So it depends on where you sit. But there's no doubt from a detached point of view, he's having a bad moment, politically speaking.
What about the photo that I think was released? I think it was both of them, Gallego and Swalwell, with their wives on horseback, and both the men had no shirts on. They were on vacation doing something. That was something that was also released, I believe, a couple of days ago at least. And your thoughts on how that affects kind of the character, I guess, of Senator Gallego, or maybe it doesn't at all?
Yeah, it will. I mean, you're going to see the photo you're describing, Celeste, which is not on horseback; it's on camel.
Oh, thank you, camelback.
And they're they both are in shorts and bare chested,
yes.
And they're doing something like this on a congressional junket. I don't think it was on vacation. I think it was on a taxpayer congressional junket. That photo, now attached to a man who's so deep in the reputational hole as Eric Swalwell, is going to appear in the next campaign, whether Senator Gallego is running for president or he's running for a re-election. There's no shelf life on that politically. And that photo has gone viral. It's not a brand new photo. I think it's years old, but here it is, and it's going to be fresh as a daisy next campaign because it says 1,000 words with one picture.
All right, so we want to talk to you about the president, what's going on with the war. We want to get your take on the governor's race, but stand by for just a second, Stan. We're going to call up, I believe Caroline Levitt has just stepped to the podium. Let's listen in for just a minute on what she's talking about at the White House, and then we'll continue.
Larger refunds than in any year of the history of our country. And I will allow Secretary Bessent to break down the numbers in greater detail. President Trump and Republicans in Congress have always believed that the American people know how to spend their money better than the government does. But what the American people must not forget is that every single Democrat in Congress voted against these tax refunds. The media has largely omitted this fact and other critical details in their stories covering the benefits of the Trump tax cuts. If the Democrats in Congress had gotten their way and blocked President Trump's historic legislation, Americans would have faced the largest tax hike in history, nearly $4 trillion. The average taxpayer would have seen a 22% increase in their tax rates. Democrats in Congress have proven over and over again that they are the affordability frauds who believe the government should keep more of the American people's hard-earned money. This president and Republicans in Congress fundamentally believe that Americans deserve to keep more of their hard-earned paychecks.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that for sure. And it's interesting, Celeste, because this dovetails right into the topic I wanted to ask Stan about, which is the president, the war, and gas prices and inflation. Stan, I know they're trumpeting the fact that the average tax refund this year is several $100s more than it was last year. Over $3,500 average refund compared to last year. It was about $3,000, maybe $3,100. But people are paying so much more at the gas pump. What's your take?
Yeah, the president is really standing on a razor's edge, politically speaking. He's doing dramatic things. I mean, historic things. And there are consequences that go with that kind of action. One of those consequences is we live in a global economy, and oil price is a global commodity. And no matter how much oil we pump in the United States, the market and worldwide sets the price, and the president has constrained that market. There is no doubt. Gas prices are higher because of Donald Trump. The question is, will American people say this is the price of doing what needs to be done in the Middle East, or will they punish the president's party in the midterms because in their day-to-day lives they're reaching into their pocket more? I don't think the relationship between gas prices and tax refund is a straight line. I think it's a dotted line at best. The consumerism and how that translates to how people vote is a very real and proven thing. So we'll see. Again, it all depends on where you sit. If you're proud of the president for doing what needs to be done, you're saying I'm paying a little more. That's That's less of a sacrifice than we made in World War II, that's for sure, when we couldn't buy tires or sugar. But now, if you're a president's detractor, you've got something to hit him with in the public square.
Okay, Stan, thanks.
Stan, let's get your thoughts on the governor's race as we look ahead here to Arizona. We were going to put the 3 individuals here up on your screen. Of course, there's some independents running as well, but we've had all of the governor's candidates here to our studios and kind of chatted with them about this. Let's get your thoughts first on how you think this is looking, which Republican probably will likely face off against Katie Hobbs, and will there be a debate? That is the golden question.
Yeah, I think there will be a debate. And since no one really knows, let me give you the conventional wisdom for a moment. And that is that Andy Biggs is leading the Republican primary and that Katie Hobbs is on her way to re-election. That's what the Phoenix Capitol crowd thinks. Now, I'm not saying they're right. And oftentimes the Capitol crowd is absolutely wrong. But if this were a wager or a marketplace, big stock is high in the Republican primary. After all, he's got Donald Trump's endorsement, and that generally is the golden ticket to winning a Republican primary. I think it still is the golden ticket. But David Schweikert is a man with his own abilities. He is a proven tough campaigner, a proven winner in a tough district. The guy doesn't sleep. He does math in his head, and he's really a very different political figure. Andy Biggs has the grassroots, the precinct committeemen of the party, but it can be made out to be some sort of, a farther right candidate than perhaps the mainstream. Katie Hobbs is definitely hoping to run against Andy Biggs because I think the Hobbs campaign believes that Biggs will replicate the Kari Lake phenomenon of 4 years ago, where Kari was made out to be someone that could not get that McCain constituency to go with her. And Governor Hobbs, then candidate Hobbs, was able to get that constituency as a Democratic candidate. So that's the conventional wisdom. And that's about as good as we can get in April before July and November.
All right. Well, we'll watch as the race unfolds over the next few months. But by the way, Stan, remind us, when's the primary? I know on the Democratic side it doesn't really matter, but for people on the Republican side.
Yes, the legislature moved it this year, so you're forgiven for not knowing. It's right. July 21st.
Seems like it gets earlier and earlier.
I know.
It is earlier. It is.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to see what happens. Stan, always appreciate your input.
Good to see you, my friend.
Talk again soon.
Appreciate you guys.
Okay.
Adios.
Yep. And Celeste.
Yes.
What if I could offer you a luxury oceanfront? Well, it's probably not ocean.
Riverfront?
Riverfront, lakefront property. It's our mystery cam today. That looks pretty nice, right?
It does.
Give us your guesses. We'll be right back on FTT. Wow, what a beautiful little slice of countryside there, Celeste.
Yes,
and
Ronald.
It's our mystery can.
Okay, so we have some really good guesses in here.
Good. Okay.
We've got Utah from Burger Boys 25.
Okay.
We have Montana from Low Philosophy.
Nice.
Colorado from B. Miguel. And people are talking music, too. We talked about how much we love food and music in the chat box.
Yeah, we do.
And people are saying they love Santana.
Oh, Carlos Santana?
Carlos Santana.
For sure.
And here's the thing, KillisL777 forever. We're going to look into this, but he says, I don't ever get a notification when y'all go live.
Oh,
a Big D.
Okay.
He's messaging you, by the way.
Yeah.
If you're going to get a direct message from Big D, that does not.
that's-
When he slides into your DMs, you better
big
watch
time.
out.
That is big time. Okay, let's find out.
Okay,
Celeste,
Ron, what are you
it
gonna go
looks
with?
Like here, I have to disqualify myself because I know exactly where it is.
Oh, you
but
do.
Trying to be an honest fella.
Okay.
I'm going to not.
Okay, I'm going
state.
to go Oregon.
Okay.
Just for
Ready?
fun.
Here we go. And
Okay.
the answer is
Osoyoos, BC. Is that how you say
so
it?
it's pronounced Osoyoos.
Osoyoos, BC.
And that is the very lake in Canada. Let me show it to you one more time that I used
Osoyoos.
to water ski on.
Oh, wow.
Can you believe it?
So what's in the middle out there? Is that like a peninsula or a bridge or something?
Yeah. So there's just it's like a little strip of land that you can drive across. But I'm just going to tell you, that's the very lake I used to water ski on when I was a kid, when I was a teenager. My aunt Jeannie and my uncle Jerry, they have an orchard on the Washington side. So we would ski up there. An apple orchard.
Yeah.
Well, they had cherries and peaches too.
Oh, I love that.
All summer long, it was like fresh food coming right off the tree.
There's nothing fresh cherries and up in the northwest. There's nothing like them. They taste totally different than the ones you pick up at the grocery.
Correct. And when you just picked them and they're in a bucket, you wash them real quick and you just sit there
so
at the
good.
table and the whole family eats them.
Let those antioxidants soak in.
Gosh, yeah. Okay, well, anyway, so there's Osoyoos, British Columbia. Penticton and Kelowna are both nearby. Every once in a while, we didn't have a DQ there, so we would hop in the car, literally go across the border. Legally, and go through, you'd go about, 20 miles. There's a little town there called Oliver.
Yes.
Just to hit up the DQ. Imagine having to make a hour-long round trip to get Celeste to the DQ.
You were a definite fan. You were a hardcore fan. You know, listen to this. Darla says she's going to be sending us our FTT shirt today, the picture.
Oh, great.
The picture, and so we can see it. And Troy S. says, Ron, my mom, Kay, loves Camas, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Where's Camas?
Okay, it's right next to Vancouver, Washington, which is right across the river from Portland, Oregon. It's a beautiful little spot there on the Columbia River. Yeah. There's a lot to love
pretty
about that town, that's for sure.
Yeah.
By the way, who, where, when, and what? This was Burger Boy's question. So I told you the who. The what was kind of growing up on that lake. You know? We lived about a half hour from there.
That's when you didn't have phones, no internet. You're just out playing all day, sunrise to sunset.
Nowadays, you tap your phone and hear whatever song you want.
Yeah.
I have this memory of water skiing on that very lake. Let me show it to you one more time. I'm probably like 12 years old, and my sister is jumping up and down on the dock. And she's waving her arms, and so I drop, and I'm like, what is it? I thought there was some kind of a big news. And she had to tell me, Celeste, that the radio station was playing my favorite song, which at the time, it was Roberta Flack, Where is the Love? Remember that song?
Yeah, I do remember
Where
that
is
song.
the Love with Donny Hathaway.
Wow.
But that was back in the day.
That's a good sister.
Absolutely.
Good
you
job,
had to
Linda.
wait to hear your favorite song on the radio. Sometimes it would take hours.
Or did you ever go, and maybe you guys can in the chat box.
Yeah, tell us.
One, throw your favorite tune in there. I know many of you said Santana. Two, remember the days when you were like on redial, so the radio station you wanted to get through to make your request? It was
the request lines are open.
As a DJ, you're like,
it was always blinking.
Yeah, always.
Always 24 hours a day. Okay, Celeste, let's get on to this next story because I feel like you're really onto something here with this. Was out of the New York Post. A doctor writes this piece. I think a lot of people can really relate to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, and throw your thoughts in here. If you think in the chat that you have something healthy that works for you, then maybe, let us know, educate us here. But here are 2 things women should do in each decade to stay healthy. And if you're a man, because we got men in here in the chat, maybe let a woman in your life that you know, mom, sister, wife, somebody like that, take care of each other.
Yeah.
And I'm sure your wife would love, honey, this is what you should do. We all love that.
You know what? Most of these guys are already hearing it from their wife. Look, you need to take care of this, this, and this.
Take the trash out.
Turn the tables on the gentleman.
Okay, so in your 20s, you need to find a doctor who treats adults. Like you're leaving your pediatrician at the age of 19, 20, they say, is when you generally leave. And then, so maybe if you have a kiddo in college or something like that, or
Sure.
a grandchild.
Yeah.
So in your 20s, you find a doctor who treats adults, build healthy habits, quit bad ones. Your 20s are when you should adopt good habits, maybe try, sleep better, nutrition, exercise. Now let's talk about your 30s.
Okay.
This is when you discuss family planning.
Okay.
I had my first baby in my 20s, so.
Wow, so did we.
Yeah, so but in your 30s, lots of people are waiting till later. Till you have children.
Sometimes into their 40s.
Yeah.
So what do they say?
So 30s discuss family planning, maintain your sexual health as well. So pap smears, those begin when you're 21 and 20s. Additional HPV testing at 30. Interval for subsequent testing depends on several factors. So just find a good doctor in your 20s, discuss family planning in your 30s, and maintain good sexual health, because that's when you're dating and,
Sure.
things happen.
Well, I think the whole thrust of this article
Things happen.
is they just do.
I don't even know. They happen.
The whole thrust of this article is do these things in your 20s and 30s and 40s.
Yes.
So you can be healthy in your 60s and 70s and 80s.
Thank you. So let's get to the 40s.
Okay.
Undergo eye and skin exams. Just make sure your eye health is good. Make
Gotta
sure
have an eye doc by
your
then.
skin.
Yep.
If you haven't gone in to see a dermatologist,
Right.
it's a little unnerving the first time you go in and they're like, okay, declothe, take everything off. Because
Oh, boy.
they want to make sure.
Maybe you got the wrong dermatologist there, Celeste. You could always say no. Hold on, Dave. I'm just speaking up for some people who are a little inhibited. Come on.
I think it's a very good point.
Yeah. What do you mean you're a podiatrist? Yeah, find the right.
Take off all your clothes. Trust me, I'm a podiatrist.
All right, fine. So eye and skin exams.
Yeah.
Consider a dermatologist for total body skin exam.
All right.
Okay, that's in your 40s.
Okay. Taking notes
First
with you.
colonoscopy when you're 45. That is different.
That is different.
And so the 50s, listen to this, keep up with your vaccines.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
50, time for shingles vaccine, pneumonia vaccine, and a lot of other ones. Make lifestyle adjustments during perimenopause. Every woman has a bell curve. Some women start perimenopause. I've heard stories in their early 40s, and then some women start later on, like even into their 50s,
Okay.
early 50s. So that's your 50s. 60s, keep tabs on your blood pressure. So maybe you can pick up a blood pressure machine. They're pretty inexpensive, and keep one at home.
Just tell you one thing. So I
Yes.
used to have higher blood pressure than I do now. I gave up one thing,
Okay.
and I think it's made a difference.
What's that?
Which is sodas that have aspartame in them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I've changed. Now, you can think of the big name brands.
Yes.
I don't know why the aspartame is still in there. But anyway, I decided I was not going to be participating in that philosophy that it's okay to have it.
Yeah.
And my blood pressure has come back down.
Yeah.
So I think it's helpful.
I think it's since you've been doing Fox 10 Talks with me, Ron.
Thank you, Celeste. Every day, my blood pressure comes down the second you walk into the studio.
That's the best thing.
Yeah.
I'm so happy
Right.
for you. Yeah, because
Okay.
we want you to be healthy, Ron.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, so 70s and up, maintain healthy habits. So those healthy habits that you learned in your 20s and 30s and 40s when you're trying to get kind of, just make sure that you're good to go. Just maintain those. Eat healthy, keep exercising. We just had this gentleman, I think he was 70. I think Anita had him on in her live shot at the end of AZAM. And he is doing Reform Pilates.
Oh.
He said he was getting lots of injuries playing pickleball. And he started getting into those Reform Pilates, laying on the machine and doing Reform Pilates classes.
Okay.
And he said he can run backwards. He doesn't have any more injuries because in Reform Pilates, you're working out your ankles and your knees. And, so take care of yourself. So in your 70s, just maintain good health, overall, exercise, eat right, things like that.
Correct.
Have lots of papaya.
Oh, really?
It's really good.
You know what? Let's go to the chat. You guys, if there's men or women, is there one thing you do to try to make yourself a little bit healthier? We would love to get your feedback on that. Here's a guy who's very, very healthy. It's Dave on the Dave Cam. He's coming up in 30 seconds because we got a great poll question today. Here we go. Democrats are planning, this is a report in The Hill this morning, to force a war powers vote in the House, which is different. The thinking had been they were only going to move forward if they knew they had the votes, but not now. So 20% say, good, leave Iran alone, end the war now. 75% say it's not the right move. It's going to end soon anyway, and hopefully we get a deal that would prevent them from having nukes. And then 5% probably won't pass, but worth a try. Trump ought to be working with Congress.
All right, on YouTube, just refreshed. We have about 1,000 votes. They're on YouTube right now when I refresh that. And so right now, 50% say good. We need to leave Iran alone and the war now. 24% of you this morning are saying bad. It will end and we'll get a deal to prevent nuclear weapons. 25% say probably won't pass. Trump should be working with Congress.
All right, now here's the man with the input from you guys. Dave, we getting a lot of comments?
Tons of comments. So many so that I'm going to go just today off of fox10phoenix.com/poll because so many people chiming in. Daniel in Mesa says Trump should be working with Congress. He should have gotten a declaration of war from them to begin with. He needs to be reined in, so they should try to pass it, even if it probably won't. Kathy Weidenbaum in Scottsdale says it would be better for our country if our elected representatives work together. This war is on and needs to be resolved. The world and Iranians need freedom from the regime. And Chad Wicks in Peoria says we should never leave Iran alone. The citizens are happy we are there. They are dancing in the streets, burqa free. Really interesting comments. Keep them coming, guys.
Wow. Okay, yeah, we do get them. That's for sure. Dave, thanks very much, and thanks for all your input. And if you want to give us your one healthy tip, we will pass it along.
Well, Thomas says it's, I think he said cod liver oil.
It's nasty, but it works.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. What does that do for you? I do love a good sardine. Is that very similar to sardine oil?
I have never had cod liver oil. I always thought you're supposed to stay away from it, but now with Thomas, maybe we need to.
I know. Maybe we should try it on the air.
Okay, let's do it. Oh, wow. That's a nice shot.
That's gorgeous. Is that in the UK?
No, that's Olympia.
Wow.
Washington, where they just passed an income tax.
Oh, boo.
What? Okay, we'll be right back. And we are back with more of the show that we call FTT. And the cool thing about FTT, everybody, is it's interactive.
It totally is.
Yeah, we're having a whole cod liver oil conversation in the chat. But hey, you know what? Bella's pointing out there's lots of omegas.
There are.
In that cod liver oil.
Yes.
Somebody else is speaking up for the cod liver oil. Way to go, Bella.
And it's good for hair and nails, you say.
Hair, skin, and nails.
By the way, Mike Lewis 21 says, I miss Celeste and Hooner's commercial break dance party.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got the music. That's for, I don't know where that music went, but we can bring it back. So you do actually consume cod liver oil occasionally?
I have tried it before, but I eat so much fish already.
Good for you.
It'd be an excess. I'd just pee it out because it'd be too much.
What's it taste like? Does it taste like
cod liver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you take like a teaspoon or is it like a pill?
A teaspoon.
A teaspoon.
But they have liquid form and pill form.
Oh, okay.
I get enough fish.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, let's see. I'm going to pop up because I'm so excited about this. It's the last day, you guys, the very last day of the ski season in Arizona, and there's still some snow up on the slopes.
Wow. $12 will get you up on the hill.
Is that incredible?
Yeah, that's so amazing. You can't get a burger and a drink for $12 anymore. It seems
really
as though.
can't.
So $12 will get you a day of skiing up on the mountain. They had like 6 inches of fresh snow.
Yes,
earlier this week.
Yeah.
So that's great news for them.
Oh, I love it. Okay, so yeah, this really truly looks, although we were surprised to get that last dump of snow as much as we got. They had to reopen. But this looks like this is the last day of the ski season, and we're hoping for a better ski season next year. You guys, I know that there was a lot of excitement about Bruno Mars.
Speaking of dance breaks.
There you go. But first we need to, and we're talking about it with Bella and her honest opinion, if it was truly, 5 stars or not. But what happened to the Suns last night? They lost to the Trailblazers.
I know.
They're
What's
the
going on?
10th team. In the old days, the Blazers wouldn't have even made the playoffs. Celeste.
I know.
Playoffs.
Portland Trailblazers.
So now what happens is this, and the Suns were ahead by 8 points with about 3.5 minutes
I
left to
know.
go.
That's the craziest thing.
And then they just, the Blazers caught fire. And sometimes momentum is a weird thing. So now they host the elimination game, which will be against the winner of tonight's game, Golden State Warriors, Clippers. I think I'd rather play the Clippers. The Warriors can get hot.
Yeah.
Steph Curry.
He's so good.
So good.
Yeah, he's amazing. So that'll be Friday night. And if you thought it was jamming last night in downtown Phoenix, it will be even more because it's do or die. They lose that one, and that's the end of the season. They won't make the playoffs.
They need to win this one.
They really do. Come on.
They got Dylan the villain. They got Booker.
Coach,
they got new coach.
Yeah.
They have a lot of momentum working in their favor. They just have to close the deal.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully they can finish strong.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So here she is, everybody. In fact, we have a two-pronged, this is a great thing that we're going to do here. We have a two-pronged review. I'm really curious on a scale of 1 to 10, and I haven't rehearsed this with you. Would you give it an 8 or a 9 or possibly a 10? Bella,
I would give it a 10.
Bruno Mars.
It was that
I would
good.
give it a 10. It was so good. It was my favorite performance concert I've ever been to.
Really?
Every song was so good.
Oh,
there was
that's
so many
great.
different lights and confetti, and it was just so
Confetti?
engaging.
So
It was
there's
great.
like this entertaining part of concerts, It's not just playing music up on a stage.
Oh, yeah. He's such a performer. There was even like a mariachi band at one point. We had a Silk Sonic performance. Anderson .Paak was out.
Ooh.
It was so good. I'm still processing it all.
Yeah.
Did he do a couple of encores? Was the crowd going wild, or did he just wrap up the show and that was it?
Well, there was, I think, twice where he said, okay, we'll do one more song. And there was a whole performance. It was just so good.
Yeah.
So it was at State Farm Stadium.
It was.
Packed house.
It was so packed. It took us a really long time to get home.
Did you have one favorite tune of all the ones that he did?
I can't pick a favorite. Maybe if you ask me next week, I'll have one. But I'm still processing it all. Everything was so good, though.
Ron and I would play this song for Ron when I would come in the morning, this Bruno Mars called Chunky.
Chunky.
Yeah. And
Yeah. Let's hear it. What are the lyrics
Unfortunately,
in
that one did not get played
darn
yesterday.
it. Let's hear it for the girls who pay their rent on time.
Oh, yes. It's a big thing in Bruno's world. I think he only wants to date girls that pay their rent on time.
I don't blame him. I get
And he
it.
talks about about the girls with the big hoops. I have big hoops.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
He talks about the girls with the Daisy Dukes.
Okay.
I got a pair of those
Let me just
too.
ask: do you and Gary, do you guys make your mortgage payment on time or not? So let's
Yeah,
get
we
down to-
pay our rent on time, Ron.
Automatic payments. Those are
Okay,
helpful.
good.
Yes.
Let's go to Abby, everybody. She also attended the concert. Would you concur with a 10 out of 10, Abs?
Absolutely. I feel like no matter where you sat, nosebleeds on the floor, it was an incredible performance. The production was insane. The dancing was insane. He's known for that, but
Right.
it was incredible. And I think it's a good show when I thought that every single song was the finale. I was like, dang, it's already over? And then he would just be going again.
Right.
Because every song, every set had like fireworks, confetti, and like a whole, like he brought out a car on stage at one point.
A car?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Fire.
Fire.
Fire, yeah.
And you
it was fire. The concert was fire.
And you went to see him many years ago, and you said, I don't know if I'll ever see a better concert in my life, right?
I went in 2016 with my mom, and she still talks about it to this day, so she was obviously so jealous I went, but
Yeah.
I always said that was the best show that I had seen, as in just like a whole performance, like not just that he can sing, like just he puts on a really, really good show, and he definitely upped his game. I'll say that.
That is cool.
Okay.
That is really cool.
I bet he's waking up this morning and watching here potentially.
Well, because he can't leave town.
He can't leave town. He's got another show tonight. I mean, I don't think he would have watched at 4:30 this morning when AZAM started, because he's probably just like getting to bed. But he's probably waking up right now about 10:30.
He's yawning,
having a Bloody Mary or something.
Doing his morning stretching exercises. How young was the crowd? Did you see some like young fans with their moms or dads, or was it more of like a 20s and 30s and 40s?
No,
or what?
there was, I would say, all ages. There was some kids who I saw look like they were in middle school or high school.
Okay.
I even saw a little baby getting carried on a shoulder. But then there was, a lot of college kids. Also, I'd say people 30s, 40s. I think it was everyone.
Wow.
I think all ages can appeal to Bruno Mars.
That's really great.
Very good.
Cool.
We're glad you guys had a good time.
Thanks.
Did you guys at least carpool?
Yes, we
good.
Ubered and lifted.
Hey, you guys, there's this study out that says it's really good for you to have small talk. And I thought, well, this is actually a pretty good topic. Here it is in a nutshell. It says that in an experiment, participants held conversations with a wide variety of topics, ranging various levels of interest. Many said they found the experience to be more enjoyable than they expected in this study. And researchers say that people underestimate how even boring conversations can be good for you.
Yeah.
So who do you have small talk with? Think about this for a second. Now, do you get it? We're all so busy. Sometimes I feel like somebody popped by my desk and I don't want to have small talk because I got so much to do. But if you just take 3 or 4 minutes sometimes, it could be the best conversation of the whole day.
When you learn so much about people, I think. Like, how'd you spend your weekend? Or what's going on with you today? How you doing?
Fun plans after work.
Like, there's a fellow right here in our studio, Brian King, our director. We both love the same kind of music. We grew up sort of at the same time, and he was listening to the radio in Montana, and I was listening to radio in Wenatchee.
Yes.
And we always have these great conversations that are totally meaningless about some album or some act, or just like you and Abby will be doing 30 years from now, talk about Bruno Mars.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Right?
For a very long time.
I don't know if they're totally meaningless, though, when you think about it, because it really feeds something that you love. Like when you're asking somebody, how is that, how is that sandwich spot or something? Well, you have a genuine love for food.
That's
or
a good
you know what I mean? Like the
point.
music, think of how music is so much a part of your life.
Sure.
As a DJ, former DJ.
I do a fresh playlist every month.
Brian loves music. Like, anytime we play any music on AZAM, he's like, I know this. Do you know who
Sure he
wrote this?
does.
Do you know when they wrote this?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
If I'm ever on that show where you have to phone a friend,
I'm phoning Brian.
call him Brian King right over there. Hey, before we say our goodbyes, you guys, I just thought it would be good for a little bit of perspective. We're enjoying life in the 80s. We're headed back into the 90s, but it could be a whole lot colder than that.
This is Bogus Basin.
That was Idaho. That's exactly what it was. And this is the hailstorm they had in Indiana yesterday.
Wow.
Oh, look at the guy still got his drink. in his cup. Did you see it over there?
Yeah, he's like, I'm not
funny.
dropping this.
Yeah.
Look at all that hail hit his hood.
Yeah, I know it,
Looks
right?
like it's going to break the glass.
You know, Bogus Basin is really cool. I learned how to snowboard on that mountain. It's only like, 30 minutes or so up the hill from Boise.
Yeah, you worked in Boise.
Yeah, it's a cool spot, and they have a roller coaster during the summer. It's so fun.
A lot of people have been saying the West just didn't get a lot of snow. Here we are in the middle of April, tax day, by the way.
Yes.
And they're getting plenty of snow, at least north of us up in Idaho and Utah.
You know, the fish talk is still ongoing in the chat, by the way, you two.
Oh, really?
And I said I love fish and chips.
Okay.
So I threw out where's the best fish and chips.
this will be good.
Do you guys have a good spot in town where you love a good fish and chip?
Sure.
I mean, I know we love Ivers.
Right, in Seattle.
I was going to say.
Honestly, I was kind of thinking Culver's.
Okay.
They have great fish and chips if you haven't tried it
I've never
there.
tried them there before.
Pete's is famous here in the Valley, Pete's Fish and Chips.
Oh, I love Pete's.
And I like Long John Silver, too.
Oh, my gosh. I
yeah.
grew up going to Long John.
Nice. Well,
yeah.
they're waiting for you to return, Celeste.
I think
where
they
do you
still
go?
have one on Bell Road or something.
Yeah.
I love Pete's.
And Power Road. See, there you go.
I love Pete's. Yeah.
Okay.
Have you tried fish and chips here since you've been back to Phoenix?
No.
Look at
I
Belle.
know.
She's a
Look,
diehard.
I keep that to Washington.
I wait till I go to Ivers.
That's exactly the look
wait till I go to
Gary would
Seattle.
give me. He's like,
You know, if Ivers only knew how much we talked about it. Hey, you guys, one last thing to say before we hand it over to Ty and Anita. We have another T-shirt winner. By the way, if you want a Fox 10 Talks T-shirt from us, we would love to see you in it. Or yesterday, one of our winners put it on his son.
Oh,
and
yeah,
we saw
that's
his
right. It's a
son
good fit.
modeling it. Well, this is Donna Molderig.
Hi, Donna.
And she loved getting her shirt, and you look sharp in it,
You
Donna.
do,
really,
Donna.
really great.
You are a beauty. Yes, I was just thinking
beautiful
that.
blue color.
And her great curls. Donna, thank you for watching. We so appreciate it. And thank you to the rest of you as well. It's been a packed show on
Gosh,
this
it has
Wednesday.
been, right? Honest reviews of Bruno Mars, a lot of political talk from Stan.
Women's health. I really enjoyed that segment.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you, Belle.
But now we take a break.
We
'cause
are.
These guys are ready to go.
They are.
Right? Okay.
Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy this beautiful shot of Olympia, Washington.
Welcome in, everyone. It's Wednesday, almost a Thursday. Wouldn't that be nice?
Psych. Just Wednesday.
As Ty likes to say, we're going to keep rolling with a jam-packed show. We are going to begin with our first guest, Alyssa Carson, and we're going to talk about some really fun road trips coming up. Hi, Alyssa.
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Alyssa.
Mic check.
Are you there?
Hi.
Alyssa, can you hear them?
No.
She cannot.
Oh.
We can hear her, though.
Hold on. Well, we'll give her a second to reestablish, but she did something really cool. She is all about space. So she did a road trip, timing everything with the Artemis. She went all the way from Florida to San Diego, and she's putting together a really cool documentary that she is putting together about her whole trip. So we're going to hopefully get her... Oh, okay, hold on. Let's try again. Alyssa, good morning. Can you hear us? I don't think so.
I don't think she can hear us, Dave. Would you? I'll tell you what, Dave, do you want to ask her the question?
No, how about we just move on to our next guest here this
Kristopher,
morning.
you're up. I told you, it's a little wild. You never know what's going to happen on Fox 10 Talks. Thanks so much, Dr. Kristopher Alpers with Alpers Family.
And we are talking this morning about oral cancers. Can you give us a little bit of information about, what are you looking for as a dentist when we come in there? I know they do that thing.
Oh,
yeah. They grab your tongue.
Yeah, great. Well, excited to be here. So part of your exam experience with us, we do an oral cancer screening, and we're looking for things that you might not be able to see on your own. So the reason I'm here is to talk about oral cancer, and it's one of the few cancers that's increasing, and not only is it increasing, it's also increasing in young Americans.
So oral cancer, anything in the mouth and the tongue area, would it include the throat?
Yeah, that's right. So oral pharyngeal cancer is one of them that we're talking about. Over 60,000 Americans will be diagnosed this year. That ends up looking like one American will die every hour on the hour for the entire year. So when we're looking for oral cancer, it also includes the back of the throat.
Wow. So obviously you know what you're looking out for because you're a doctor. Are there warning signs that we, when we're brushing our teeth or looking in our mouth in the mirror, should be aware of or be looking for?
Yeah, it's a great question. So one thing about oral cancer is a lot of times it's painless. A lot of times it's hard to see in your mouth, see what's going on. But you want to be aware of any changes that are going on. The one thing I tell our patients, and something to be aware of, if you ever have a sore spot, something in your mouth that just doesn't feel right, it should always heal within about 2 weeks. So if you bit your tongue, you had a pizza burn, it should always go away in a week or two. If it doesn't, I would recommend getting it checked out. Same thing if you have a chronic sore throat. You always want to make sure those are kind of clearing up on their own. But other than that, the dentist, dental hygienist is going to be your first line of defense in really examining, looking for these things and making sure that you're staying optimally healthy. Because what we've found is even though the diagnosis is going up, the key is early detection. And the unfortunate thing is that over 70% of the people that are being diagnosed with oral and pharyngeal cancer, we're catching it in the later stages. So that's too late.
Can we talk a little bit about then what causes it and then what early detection does mean for someone who is diagnosed with oral cancer?
Yeah, of course. So historically, we might think just people that smoke, tobacco use is the number one thing that's causing this. But what we're finding is the number one leader of causing this cancer is actually the HPV virus. So the HPV virus is a very common thing that's just circulating. Over 80% of Americans will be exposed to it sometime. But the combination of that is what's causing it just to be something that's continuing to increase in young Americans.
Wow. I was reading some of the stats that you sent over, and I think this is kind of also a little worrisome too. Is it says that oral cancer that is often painless in the early stages. So you really do kind of have to be, I guess, very cognizant and kind of make those faces in the mirror and look in your mouth to kind of maybe look for lesions or something that just doesn't look right.
There's different stuff that we can do. Like if there's a spot on your skin, it's easy to see.
Right.
In your mouth, really what needs to happen is you need to see your dentist to have that examination, because even if you are seeing your primary care physician, they're not always doing as thorough of a diagnosis that we would. And what we've seen for different reasons, over 45% of Americans don't routinely see their dentist. In our practice, practice, we have advanced screening techniques and devices that use blue lights to help catch things earlier. Three-dimensional x-rays can see if there's anything going on with your jaw. But really the thing for us to do is to try to make that dental visit, not just to keep your teeth healthy, but a 2-minute appointment, a 2-minute exam could potentially save your life. And if you're able to catch this at an early stage, that's really key to an optimal
Something you can do during a routine cleaning, which hopefully everyone is able to get. This, I'm not sure exactly like how to phrase the question or if it's a silly question, but
no such thing as silly questions here on Foxton Talks, right?
And you can say don't smoke, right? That's going to help prevent or mitigate this. But when it comes to the HPV and the oral cancer, I mean, what else can people do? Like you're going to say, brush your teeth so you don't get cavities. Right. Maybe try to check or get an exam. But this is something that you really do have to trust to the professionals.
Yeah, exactly. You do need to just be constantly being screened for this, just like other types of cancers. We're seeing other cancers go down, but this one's going up. So tobacco use, smoking, alcohol really dramatically increases your risk. Vaping, using nicotine pouches or other types of pouches can increase your risk. But what we're seeing is that HPV link, which just means everybody should be constantly doing what they can to make sure that they're being screened to catch it at an early stage.
So, doctor, let me walk us through kind of, so if you see something when you're doing a routine exam with the patients, and you see something that maybe you say they need to get it checked out, do you refer them then to an oncologist or something like that to get a better look, or what's kind of the next step?
Great question. So it's almost like when you go to see a dermatologist, where sometimes the things can not be so obvious. It's not like this big ugly sore. It can look just kind of like a different looking mole on your skin. So when we see something that we're concerned for, the next step is usually to have it biopsied, not necessarily in an oncologist. Sometimes we can do that in our own office. We're referring to oral surgeons, but just like when a mole looks weird on your skin, you really don't know until you take that step.
Last question, what about age groups? Does this affect everyone, young children and adults, or more primarily certain age group?
Yeah, great question. So it does affect everybody. What we're seeing, the most dramatic increase is young adults and young males. That's really what's going up. When we think of HPV-related cancers, we think of cervical cancer, but the highest increase that we're seeing is actually in the oral pharyngeal cancer.
Great. How do people get a hold of you?
Yeah, great. So our office is Alpers Family and Cosmetic Dentistry. Alpers Dentistry, we're just north of Old Town Scottsdale. We really take a lot of pride of diagnostic, preventative treatment, but we also do really great cosmetic and complex work. So
how are we looking?
Your teeth are really pretty.
I had a cleaning yesterday.
Yeah, I can tell. They look great.
Well, Dr. Alpers, thank you so much for coming in. A really interesting topic, too. We appreciate your time here this morning.
Okay, back to our road trip.
Yes, Alyssa, we've got her on the phone. We're going to do this.
Hi,
we're going to do this the old-fashioned way here, Alyssa. Can you see us, hear us now?
I sure can.
All right, it is so good to see you and hear you. Alyssa, hold on. Can she hear me? Where is she hearing me through? This?
Oh, yeah.
So I got to talk in this. All right. So I'm getting a little feedback. Sorry, Alyssa. We're just kind of doing this on the fly here this afternoon.
Hey, Alyssa, really quickly, and in just a couple of minutes, we're going to have to take a break, and then we'll have you sit through it. So just we'll have you answer. Our first question is, how and why did you decide to do this road trip, the AZ Crater road trip?
Yeah, I was just so excited to be a part of the Driven to Explore road trip, just because I love being able to inspire other girls and really meet women. Road trip was such a unique way to do that by having the parallel mission of the Artemis II mission, and being able to kind of interview these incredible women in STEM along the way was just such a blast. So I was just so excited to be a part of it.
So tell us a little bit about kind of what inspires you about space, and what is it about space exploration that has kind of captured your attention?
Yeah, I mean, I've always loved space. Space has been a big part of myself for as long as I can remember. Even as a little kid, I remember I loved space more than anything else. And so, growing up, I was really just wanting to figure out where I fit into the space industry. And so I was trying different things, figuring out, if I was interested in becoming an astronaut, did that mean I wanted to be a pilot? Did that mean I wanted to be a scientist, or what it would look like? And so slowly fell into the realm of astrobiology, and I'm a PhD PhD candidate now, and so still working on that. But yeah, really just I think it brings people together in such a unique way. We solve such cool problems, and there's just the general curiosity of space that I think is always there.
Tell us a little bit about the road trip and the documentary, what we see when we watch that.
Yeah, so the documentary, we are done shooting, so we are now in post-production, which is really, really fun. But really the story is, having that simultaneous 10-day mission as the Artemis II mission launched and then flew around the moon and came back and landed. We did our same mission where we launched from Cape Canaveral, Florida, so we were at the launch, got to see it take off. Then we hit the road, drove all the way to San Diego, California. We made many stops interviewing women. So we interviewed 10 women along the road, drove through 9 states, over 3,000 miles.
Wow.
And really, my best friend came along with me. Her background is ocean engineering. And so it was a lot of fun to kind of share those road trip moments with her. So really just so many incredible stories about women in STEM.
2 very smart ladies out on the road. This is incredible. Do you have a favorite memory or a favorite part of that journey?
Yeah, it's so hard. It was so funny because we all kept saying it felt like 10 days, but it also felt like 6 months for the length of time that we were on the road. But really, it was a lot of fun. I mean, there are so many special memories. There were many places that I had been to before, but also places that I had never been before. But I think in general, really, it was the conversations, the interviews that I was able to do. It was so refreshing to almost step outside of my field of space. So even though we were interviewing women in STEM and women in the space industry, just hearing their backgrounds and a little bit about, what they're currently working on. I mean, we interviewed test engineers, we interviewed an astronomer, astronauts. And so it was just so cool hearing those perspectives. And I think that was the most special.
Alyssa, we've only got about a minute left, a little less than a minute. How can people get more information about your documentary and when will it be ready?
Yeah, so like I said, we just entered post-production. You can hear more about it and follow along about when everything's available at Driven to Explore Film. So that is the social channel. Also, my social channel, NASA Blueberry, I will also be keeping updates on my channel as well as it comes together.
Can't wait to see it. Thank you so much.
We can't wait to see you blasting off into space soon, Alyssa. That was really cool.
Thanks.
All
Okay,
right.
we'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Okay, we're going to take a quick minute break, and then we have some real fun guests coming up.
We sure
afterwards.
do. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Welcome back in, everyone. Wednesday.
We're going to keep things rolling here, and our next guest is Chrissy Shelberg. And wait till you hear her story, you guys. I want to show the video first. This is Chrissy. She winning all sorts of awards when it comes to the speediest bartender that there is.
Is that the official title, Chrissy? Speediest bartender?
I think it could be. Yeah,
Okay.
What is the official title, Chrissy?
It was just a winner of Arizona. It's a Fast Track Bacardi is what they put on. It's a little bit more of a smaller competition that they do to get girls from all around the country to compete in nationals in New Orleans.
I think the girls are the better bartenders, the faster bartenders.
Okay, but we're looking at this video. Now, I was watching, there's also a piece of video. You had to make how many drinks, and is it timed?
It is. I mean, it's not timed, but you want to get the lowest time possible.
Gotcha.
And you also have deductions as well. Like if your drink is over diluted, if it's under diluted, messiness counts, the taste, spilling, if you put the wrong ingredient in, if you miss an ingredient, then you can add anywhere from 5 to 30 seconds to your time.
Okay, so what do they do in the competition? They give you like a list and say make 10 drinks and they don't give you ingredients?
They do.
Or are they saying make these drinks and they give you a full list of ingredients and instructions?
For this one specifically, for Bacardi Fast Track, they gave me a list of 32 cocktails and they gave me all of the specs, all of the execution on how to make them. When it comes your time, the judges will call any 4 out of the 32 cocktails, and sometimes they can make modifications like, I don't want it too boozy, I want it more fluffy, I want it more sweet.
When you say they call 4, that means you're only making 4 out of the 32.
Yes.
So you're not
you don't know which 32 they're going to call.
And you're not going in there with your list in front of you?
I studied all of them. I made sure I knew all of them. So by the time it came around, all I did was write down the cocktail, and that way I can just execute it that way. But I don't have to like look through my specs and look through and try to remember.
So basically you kind of memorized 32 drinks.
Oh, yeah.
That is insane.
You probably have like 500 memorized, though.
A lot of them are classics, so a lot of them are easy, like a Negroni, which is a 3-ingredient cocktail. Another one is like a Boulevardier, which is pretty much the same thing.
Give her a cocktail. Give her a cocktail.
You know, my favorite is very easy. I do a dry dirty martini.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something complicated.
What? Okay, so let's get into it.
Yeah, give her.
Okay, let's say we're at the bar, and if you like are
Ty
looking at
saunters
us.
up.
No, let's just. I feel like bartenders are good at like sussing what people like to drink. What do you think Anita likes to drink? This is fun.
I would say an espresso martini.
Oh,
no,
straight up vodka.
Straight up vodka.
Straight up vodka.
She's Polish.
On ice, maybe with a little lemon.
Whoa.
Okay, easy
or a little,
peasy.
a little whiskey.
You look like more of like a ranch water.
Oh, is that like a tequila?
Tequila highball with a little bit of lime.
Do you know what happens when Ty drinks tequila?
His clothes come off?
Yeah. You read my mind.
Yep, that's most people, honestly.
But so, Chrissy, let's talk about it. Like when you have someone that comes up, what is a drink that you dread making? That you're like, oh boy, here we go. This has got like 12 ingredients. I'm going to be here all day.
Honestly, I don't.
Really?
I don't mind those because I'm used to making those in my bar right now. Like at least 12 steps is what we do. So.
And we should mention that you work at a bar that is well known here. It's Undertow Gilbert.
Yes.
And so those are some complicated drinks because that menu's got a lot of ingredients.
They are. And I partake in some of them because I helped create some of the cocktails on the menu. So it's also my fault when I add a lot of ingredients. I'm like, oh,
you only have yourself to blame, Chrissy.
Oh, wait,
how'd you get started in this?
I started bartending 8 years ago. It was at a sports bar called Sandbar. It's not there anymore, but I had a lot of fun there. It was more high pace, fast pace, a lot of easy cocktails to make, and my love kind of grew for bartending there. And I wanted to just kind of see what more of the other side of bartending was. So then I started more at a craft cocktail place, which has more quality cocktails, quality ingredients, usually fresh ingredients as well. So honestly, I just wanted to, explore my options and see what else was out there. And I love making craft cocktails. Like they really speak for themselves.
Then what got you into wanting to kind of compete with this like speed cocktail making?
I heard about Speed Rec a couple years ago. I didn't know how to enter, but once I had a friend submit a video last year, I was like, oh my God, this is my time. Yeah, this is my time. I can do it. I had a lot of fun doing it as well. I submitted my video through Wildcard is what they call, where you just submit a video of you making 4 drinks and they personally choose you, and then you go straight to nationals in New Orleans.
Wow.
So this time was a little bit different because they came out locally to Arizona for the very first time.
Nice.
Which was nice. I competed with 8 other girls, I believe, and I didn't expect to, but I was wanting to, and I ended up winning. So now that's my ticket to nationals.
So I feel like it's a misconception that people think bartending can be like a part-time job, something you do in college to make a little extra money.
Yeah.
But you see so many people. This is a very successful career, because when you're talking about the craft cocktails and I mean, you can go really far with this industry.
Yep, absolutely. When it comes to, bartending, managing, I'm a bar manager right now, so I kind of get the best of both worlds. But yeah, the next step is mixologist, honestly, where you're curating cocktail menus for other people, which is maybe the goal someday. But yeah, it's a really good career for me. It's gave me a really good job so far, paid off some of my bills and car, which is nice.
I love that. So let's talk about going to New Orleans. Is it kind of the same premise where you have a list of cocktails that they're going to tell you make XYZ, and then you have to go do it as quickly as possible?
But it's going to be a list of 80 plus cocktails. So it's a little bit more intense.
Do you already have the list?
I do.
Okay, so you have until July to memorize it.
Do you want us to help you? Okay, give her.
Well, okay. This is. I just Googled the most complicated cocktail recipe. Ooh. And it says the Ramos Gin Fizz.
Oh, that's
What is it?
She knows.
That one is very hard to execute because you have to shake it vigorously for quite some time.
First step.
She's got it.
First step is the shake.
Yep. It's usually consists of gin, a little bit of lemon, simple syrup. You want to shake that. Oh, an egg white.
Yeah.
For a very long time. And then
she's got this in the bag.
And then the goal is to get it to at least an inch off of the glass to where it rises up. The key is to stick like a bar spoon in it and then top the soda water off very, very slowly. And then it'll rise up. But there's a lot of different ways that you can execute it. One of them is sticking them in the freezer for a little bit, letting it solidify.
Okay. What about a blue blazer?
I don't think I've ever heard of a blue blazer.
Fire-based drink involving lighting alcohol on fire.
That sounds too dangerous, Krissy. Let's not do that.
I've had my play with those. They're pretty fun, honestly.
I'm impressed.
How do you, I mean, obviously it's a lot of memorization, but do you actually, at home, kind of get the shakers out and...
Definitely.
This is me with my shaker.
So are you drinking all the drinks you make?
No.
Can we come over, Krissy? And then we'll drink.
We'll drink all the drinks that you make. That's not a problem.
A lot of the time it is actually with water. So I'm using the bottles that they would give me, like Patron, for example, is a really hard bottle to pick up, especially fast because it's just more of a square bottle.
Look at you.
Saint Germain is another bottle that they love to use because those are the sponsors. So I went ahead and I bought those bottles and I just, obviously save the liquor in a different container.
Yeah, we don't want to waste it.
Exactly. But I just poured it with water and that way I can, practice my counts without actually wasting it.
Wow.
So I just go through and I do those reps.
I never would have thought of that. Would you have thought of that?
No, that's genius.
Yeah, we call it water pouring. That's how we train a lot of our bartenders at work. We pour all of our bottles with water, and then we tell them, walk them through the cocktails and the ingredients so that they can execute them. And if they mess up, it's just water.
Who cares? It's just water.
It's just water.
Well, when do we get you back to make some cocktails?
Anytime you want.
Wait, so when is the competition?
July 19th.
Okay, I'm writing that down. July 19th.
You'll come back when you win.
Can you come back?
Yes, absolutely.
And maybe we will make some cocktails. That'd be kind of fun. Maybe some summer cocktails.
Yeah, not a Ramos, but it'll be...
Yeah, Anita.
I don't want one.
Nothing with egg whites.
Hey, you know what? Talk to AI. I just bring me a bottle of vodka.
I do like making egg white cocktails, like whiskey sours. I love making those. You get a really nice frothy head on it. You can make a design on top of it too. They come out really pretty.
It's like one of those lattes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, pretty.
How cool. Well, congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
best
very
of
much.
luck. We're going to
Thanks
be
for
rooting
coming
you on.
in.
Do they like live stream it or anything so we
They
can
do
watch
live stream
you?
it, usually on their Instagram.
Okay.
They'll live stream it.
All right, we're going to have to put a
Keep
link
us
so people
posted.
can watch.
Please, I
That's
sure
gonna be
will.
fun.
I'll send it to you guys.
And you can always go hang out with Krissy, Undertow,
Yes,
and Gilbert.
please.
All right, Krissy, it was nice to meet
Thanks.
you, and
Nice to
good
meet you.
luck.
Thank you for having me.
One more guest, you guys. We are going to introduce you to one of the newest members of the Fox 10 family, who happens to be already interviewing Mark Kelly.
Yeah, look at him.
Look at that.
And
Jumping
he's used
right
to
in.
being in Arizona, too, because he's just coming up from Tucson. So joining us here this morning is Andrew Christiansen.
Hi, welcome.
How are you?
When was your official first day?
So it was Monday.
Okay.
I'm very excited to be here.
Just give him some time, you guys.
Yeah.
Give him some time. I'm just kidding. What'd you do in Tucson? Did you have a specific beat? What kind of news do you like to cover?
So we did geographical beats.
Oh, okay.
So I covered the Catalina foothills over there, which is
Oh.
exactly where I live too. So, but I also like to cover politics, education, and the economy is mostly what I do as well.
You're going to have a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
aren't
there's
you?
a lot going on here in
Mm-hmm.
Arizona. Give us your background. Where are you from? Is this your first, second market, third market, fourth market?
This is my third market. I'm originally from Orange County, California. and I
Nice.
call it
Close
the
to
most-
home.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
I call it the most California part of California because we have Disneyland and the beach.
Oh, yeah.
But in 2016, I moved to Arizona to go to ASU and the Walter Cronkite School. I had Celeste as a teacher.
Can you believe
so-
that? That is so funny.
Yesterday, she's like, I recognized him.
Yeah. So it's awesome to be working with her now. I got to tour the Fox 10 studios back in 2018, so kind of made it my mission to come back.
Right. So when you toured it, did you think I'm going to come back and work here?
Yes,
you
I,
did.
I definitely
This was
made
your
it a
goal.
Yes, for
He
sure.
manifested it.
Okay.
And look, it worked.
So after ASU, where'd you work? What was your first market?
So my first market was Corpus Christi, Texas,
Cool.
where I was there for almost 2 years.
Good for you.
I then went to Tucson for 3.5 years, and then now I'm here. So I'm glad to be back.
We both did the same thing. We started at the smaller markets and working your way into that middle market, like a
Yeah.
Tucson, and then
Yeah.
coming in here. And I think that's so important to see because you're really learning, you're making your mistakes and you're learning the ropes, quite literally going up them.
Exactly. Yeah, I definitely feel like I've grown in my career, and I'm excited to be back here in Phoenix. I love Arizona, and so it was great to work and live in southern Arizona, and now I'm back in central Arizona. I'm sure I'll be up in northern Arizona.
There you go.
Yeah, the snow.
What's nice too is that you have all your friends, from back
Yeah.
in Tucson.
Yeah.
They're just up the road from you now.
Exactly.
They can come hang out.
Exactly. I'll be visiting very soon. So
outside of news, what are some of your hobbies? Are you a hiker, golfer, biker?
Do you have a dog?
I don't have a dog. I love dogs though. I just don't
love
have
dogs,
a dog.
too.
But I'm a foodie, so I love going to restaurants. I love going to bars, and I love to showcase stuff on my social media about what there is to offer here in Arizona. I call myself an Arizona advocate. So
love it.
What's your social media?
So it's Andrew Adventures Arizona on TikTok and Instagram, and then on Facebook it's just Andrew Christiansen, my name.
What's your? Have you gotten your first assignment yet?
I have not got. This is my first assignment, kind of.
There it is! Yay! Well, you passed it with flying
job.
colors, Andrew.
Welcome.
Awesome.
Have a great
You'll do
rest of your
great.
day,
Thank you.
everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.
Well, that's pretty interesting view. Somebody's done a good job with their roofing work there, Des. Look at this, would ya?
That's artwork.
Yeah, it really is kind of artistic,
It is.
right?
Yeah.
Wow,
this is interesting. Where is this?
I don't know. I don't think it's our mystery Wait, hold on. Let me just check. Sometimes Dean will actually shoot me a little text every once in a while. Let's find. Oh, it's Flagstaff.
Oh.
Really? Must be out kind of on the edge of town. So there you go. Thank you, Dino.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Anyway, good morning, everybody, and thanks for hanging out with us. Fox 10 Talk continues here at 11:30. It's Ron and Des, and we're glad that you're able to spend a little bit more time with us here in the big 11:30 half hour.
Yeah, absolutely. Glad to see you guys. Thanks for hanging around.
We have an interview coming up in a minute or two here about what's going on with the housing market. Is there any hope? Of interest rates coming down, those mortgage rates, what about getting more houses built?
Right.
There was a study came out said we're
short.
10 million short.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to find out what's the very latest on that, but let's get you up to speed on a couple of big headlines this morning. This crash that happened in the early morning hours just before sunrise shut down the entire US 60 that's the main highway between here and Las Vegas, between here and say Kingman or Wickenburg, that kind of a thing. And it looks like it was a pretty grisly end to for that vehicle and for the driver. We're still efforting to try to get additional information in terms of who was behind the wheel. But it does look like, for whatever reason, the driver may have plowed right into that semi-truck, either to the back of it or maybe the back corner. But yeah, it doesn't look good with the whole top half of the vehicle sheared off.
Yeah, no, not at all. I mean, extensive damage done to that vehicle, obviously. And you just look at something like that and you're thinking, oh my gosh, like it'd be a miracle that whoever was in that vehicle is okay.
Yeah.
That's very scary. But unfortunately, yeah, that person losing their life.
And I always look at the back of a semi-truck to see whether or not they have those crossbars, and this one did have it, and that's designed to prevent a rear-end crash. And so by virtue of the fact, in fact, we might be able to zoom in a little bit more and show you the back end of that trailer right there. But by virtue of the fact that they did have that crossbar on the backside, here, we'll show it to you right here, it seems to me that it couldn't have been a direct hit to the back of the vehicle, to the back of the trailer, because that's exactly why they're built there. So whatever happened, it was either a hit to the corner or a hit to the other side. We're going to try to find out more about that.
Yeah, and and more about the victim too. Hopefully some information will develop later on throughout the day. But yeah, unfortunately, that person not making it today.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about this case of extreme valley fever. Now, if you're new to the valley, maybe you haven't heard about it before, but there are these spores that grow in our soil, and I found out about it very first year I moved here. I thought I had like the flu. I couldn't quite tell what it was, and they said, no, that's valley fever. It's very common. You should get over it in a few days, and I did. But in some cases, it can really be bad.
I mean, it's terrifying. And in the case of this young man, 21, he came here to go to school, to study to be a mechanic, and then came from Hawaii, left to go back home and realized, I'm not feeling really well. It all started with just a headache. And I mean, that's terrifying because think how often do folks experience something as small as having a headache?
Right. And so how do you know? But here's kind of what they were saying there with the family.
Never even heard of valley fever prior to getting a diagnosis of it. And they weren't even looking for valley fever. That wasn't even on any doctor's radar. The strength that this kid has is just amazing. On the days where I'm tired and I want to give up, I can't because I look at him and I see him continuing to fight.
Well, that's all you can do. But there he is in the hospital bed. And as you said, Des, I mean, he just comes to Arizona because we have all these great schools. He wants to study mechanics and get started with his career. But in the end, with the way the infection spread to his brain, he had a stroke. He had seizures. As of right now, he's not able to speak or walk. And his family is just hoping it's a slow but fruitful road to recovery.
Yeah, and they had to inject that antifungal medication right into his brain directly. And when you think of a procedure like that alone, just sounds so intense. And just prayers for this family. They are asking for some help. So we do have some information on our website if you are interested in trying to help this family along. But as you can imagine, with almost a year spent in the ICU, they are facing unfortunate, medical bills, which, going through something like this, it's like, it should be the last thing on your mind. But we all know that, that's not.
Months and months in the ICU. It's tough. Okay, let's find out what's going on in the world of housing. That's a constant topic for us, and we think we have somebody who might be able to shed just a little bit of light on it, Des. It's Ted Rossman. He's with Bankrate. He's been a guest of ours in the past here. But we thought this would be a good chance for us to actually spend a little bit of time with him, because I guess there's some sort of a new study that's come out that, is maybe shedding some new light on it.
Yeah. What's the study about, and does it have any good news in there?
Yeah, hi, thanks for having me. So we're talking about the National Association of Home Builders and Wells Fargo Housing Market Index, which came out today. So it's really about home builder sentiment and some of the other statistics going on in the building space. Unfortunately, activity is pretty depressed right now, along with sentiment. There's a lot of kind of wait and see when it comes to the war in Iran, the state of the economy, interest rates, inflation. This index came in a little bit below expectations. A lot of builders are having to offer price drops and or other incentives to get buyers off the sidelines. In fact, so far in April, about a third of builders have lowered prices. Closer to 2/3 have given some sort of incentive. So all of this adds up to what's actually becoming a little bit of a buyer's market, just because people are hesitant to buy. They're a little bit nervous about the economy and interest rates, and builders are having to offer incentives.
Well, when it comes to trying to get more houses built, this study that came out, I know you're familiar with this one too, that said we're 10 million houses short of what we actually need. And we all, have studied the basics of economics, I guess, in our high school or college days, supply and demand. Why isn't there a greater supply? What needs to be done to get more houses built?
There is some pending legislation in Congress that will hopefully help with this. It's going to take some time. The blame goes in a few different places. Some of it is kind of market factors. Some of it is zoning laws. That's actually something that this legislation is aiming to help with. So it's passed the Senate. The House has kind of a different version that they're trying to reconcile. Some of this, though, has to do with loosening some of the red tape. So whether that's local zoning laws or other factors like prefabricated housing, manufactured housing is actually something that some people say could be kind of the way out of this, because when homes are built, at least in part, in a factory and then shipped to their destination, you're not as worried about weather and other kind of local factors. There's all kinds of things that go into this. Some of it is prices and tariffs, and things like lumber are more expensive. And some of it is finding available lots and getting municipalities to approve that. Sometimes there's a bit of not in my backyard where there's a big influx of population and then people kind of shut the doors and it's like, well, let's not do any more building. There's also the question of single family versus multifamily. And there's a lot that goes into this. And then there's the whole affordability piece too. That's been a major concern for households, especially the past few years. So there's no kind of easy answers, but you're right. If there was more inventory, that would certainly help the first-time buyer. A lot of existing owners are reluctant to move because they locked in these super low mortgage rates, and there's just not a lot moving right now. It does seem that building is kind of the way out of this. It's just going to take some time and some agreement here.
Mm-hmm. And this is, I don't know if it's kind of getting off now in another direction, but just, thinking about, like you said, I mean, interest rates, they've gone up now for the past 6 weeks straight. And even the average down payment right now on a home is $30,000. For folks that are just depressed about what we're seeing, are there any good programs that you know of, maybe even for first-time home buyers, just for people who feel completely stuck in, their dream of being a homeowner?
There are various credits and grants. Some of them are offered by mortgage lenders and home builders. Some of them are offered by local governments. That is something that can help. A lot of people are actually turning to family for assistance with down payments. A lot of parents are helping their Gen Z or millennial kids buy homes, if you're lucky enough to be in that position. Other people are delaying some of these traditional milestones. The median age of a first-time buyer is 40, and that's moved back almost a decade in recent years. Kind of the whole notion of the traditional starter home is changing too. So it's very interesting times in the housing market right now. Lower mortgage rates would help. You're right that mortgage rates did go up a bit because of the war in Iran and the inflationary pressures. Good news, a little bit of good news. We've started to see that reverse the past 2 weeks. So the average 30-year fixed rate was around 6% when the war started. That was the lowest in about 3.5 years. And then it went up to about 6.5, and now it's down to about 6.3. If we could get to 6% or even a little bit below, that's an important psychological and financial threshold. I do think there's some reason to believe that that could happen in the coming months. That would unstick some activity, I would say.
We only have a minute left. Let me squeeze this in real quick. Those 3% down first-time home buyer mortgages, are those still out there? Is that a real option?
Yes. Yep. So things like FHA loans, you can put down about 3%. That is widely accessible. That's a government-backed mortgage. Certain people can even qualify for 0% down with VA loans or certain USDA loans. The typical down payment is actually 10%. So a lot of people think 20 is kind of the historical standard. A lot of people are putting 10% or sometimes even less down. So that's another thing you can try.
All right, Ted. Excellent info. I do feel like we learn new stuff from Ted, Des, every single time we have him on. How about that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you, Ted. We appreciate your insight.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good day, bud.
And just like that, it's time for the Mystery Cam. Ooh, see old Glory flapping in the wind. Give us your guesses. All right, let's just see where we are. By the way, we have a Louis Gonzalez with Texas and an Outlaw Dynamo with Georgia. And by the way, we have Linda. Linda's one of our everyday, regular, faithful viewers who says there's a lot of home building going on in the Safford area, and I love that Gila Valley. Safford and Thatcher, you have 10,000-foot Mount Graham out your back door. And I mean, it usually gets at least a dusting of snow in the wintertime. It's so beautiful out there. That's nice to know. People are maybe, I mean, I know for people whose job is here in Phoenix, you got to pay what you got to pay. Although I will say there are some neighborhoods now that are going in on the far edges of the valley, like Apache Junction and Surprise, where you can still buy in, maybe not the $300, but for around $400 for a house.
But even think about that, I
know those used to be $250s.
A lot of money still.
Yes, right. Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Brandon thinks Colorado as well, and
I like Georgia.
Okay.
I do feel like this is a good old Georgia.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go with Brandon, then I'll go Colorado. Ladies and gentlemen, here she is.
Louis thought Texas, maybe. We'll see if Louis is right. Who's right? Oh, it is all of those of us who guessed Georgia.
Very nice. Here's one last look at it right there. It looks like kind of a pleasant town, that's for sure.
Oh my gosh, the trees look so beautiful.
Yeah, don't they?
They're so lush and green.
Hey, we're getting a lot of action on our poll question this morning. What do you think? There's talk about yet a new War Powers vote in the House. They're all back from their 2-week vacation. 19% are saying, good, we need to leave Iran alone. Let's end that war now. 77% say it's not a good move. The war's going to end soon anyway, and hopefully we get a deal that'll keep them from having nuclear weapons. 4% say probably won't pass, but it's worth a try. The president should be working with Congress.
Yeah, and then our numbers are always different when we switch over to YouTube, but right now we've got about 1,000 votes, 50% of folks saying, good, we need to leave Iran alone and the war now. 25% here say that it's bad, the war, it will end soon and we'll get a deal to prevent those nuclear weapons that Iran is trying to work on, and then 25% say probably won't pass anyway.
Okay. Well, there you go. We would love to get your feedback on it. That is for sure. By the way, we have a really interesting poll question on the TV side on Fox 10. Early this morning, we rolled it out. Be honest, because here we are. It's tax day, April 15th. When do you really file your taxes? I thought this was a pretty probing question, Des.
Yeah, you did? You like that?
Yeah.
What do you think?
And I said, my option's not on there. Yesterday?
No, you didn't.
Yeah, no, I really did.
You did not.
I got a lady who does it for me every year, but I never really got a chance to. She fills up, and I called in like February, and they're like, well, our first appointment is like middle of March. I'm like, okay, well, we can squeeze it in.
Yeah.
So anyway, got it all done yesterday.
You were proactive about still making the appointment, so it's not like you like pushed it off. She was just that busy. Wow, who's your tax lady? She's popular.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I'll admit, we filed sometime in March, and it felt good to get that done and
get that refund
out of the way.
You know, the average refund. Oh, did you not get a refund this year? All right. The average refund is running $3,500 this year.
That's good.
It's
Folks
up
need
$400
it.
from last year.
Everyone's on the struggle bus, so that's awesome.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you are, I didn't know this, maybe most of you do, so I don't know if this is silly of me, but if you are having any tax issues, because we've had some issues in years past, the IRS does offer free services through their tax advocates. So if you ever need help, start there. Try to reach out to those IRS tax advocates and see if they can help you along that journey, because just from experience, like, it's so hard to get through to the actual IRS. Can't get them to answer the phone. So
okay, well, on we go to our next topic here, and we have we love Phoenix, and we especially love downtown Phoenix because we're here. Right?
Yeah.
And you've seen, especially like over about the last 10 years, it just feels like people really want to move downtown. There's so much going on. You got Suns games, got Diamondbacks games, you got concerts going on.
Yep. There's a lot happening.
And there's a big festival happening.
There's more.
Yes, indeed. So we are going to go right into the heart of downtown. To find out a little bit more about it from JT Tabor. JT, tell us about the VIVA Phoenix Festival.
Nice connecting with you today. So VIVA Phoenix is a 6-day event that is partnered with all sorts of venues and spaces and culinary partners in downtown Phoenix. It starts today. I'm actually here loading in the first event, which is an art gallery, and we're going to be going all the way to Monday.
Okay, what's the art gallery and what's going on there?
Mm-hmm. So a new space to town. Some very talented young kids opened a space called Their Space, and we're here throwing a party tonight and showing off some beautiful art.
Oh, cool. What kind of artwork is it? Are they painting, sculptures? What do they do?
There's lithographs, paintings, sculptures, any kind of art you can think of, really. It's pretty incredible. I'm still watching them set up now.
Oh, awesome.
All right, are you able to see on your screen here what we're showing? I'm going to start rolling through these photos. Tell us what we're looking at here. I like this artwork.
So you're looking at VIVA Phoenix 2024, and one of the big things that changed from VIVA 24, it used to be a paid one-day event, but this year we've worked with some really incredible sponsors to bring this event for free to all the people who are willing to attend. So if you check out visitphoenix.com or visit VivaPHX.com, you'll be able to see all the programming.
Give us that website one more time.
VivaPHX.com.
Yeah, and I'm on the website right now. So it looks like each day, so Wednesday, which is obviously today, you're at Their Space, and then do you want to walk us through what you're doing on the other nights for Thursday, Friday?
Yeah, I think so. The big things that we're really excited about, there's lots of programming throughout the week, but on Friday we have a really incredible panel with our partners at True Leave, who are one of the people that help make this event free. And then on Saturday, we have a big event at Civic Space Park. We're going to be going from 12 to 9 p.m. We have a partnership with ASU Prox. We're going to have a bar garden and local food vendors popping up, and a music stage that has a headliner called Chewy, who just got off tour with Bad Bunny. So pretty excited about that one.
Wow.
Oh,
okay.
Cool. What is Chewy saying? I'm going to have to go look him up.
They're from Puerto Rico, and they're very, very talented, very up and coming. I definitely recommend it.
Wow. Were they openers for Bad Bunny?
They actually tracked with him on his last album, and they were an opening act on his last tour. Yeah.
Wow.
Great.
Amazing.
And so the music is happening at the Civic Space Park. Is that correct?
That's correct. That's sort of our title event, but there's music at places like Walter Studios, Club Contact. We've got a big event on Friday night at the Van Buren with Interpol. We've got Crescent Ballroom, Valley Bar. All of the downtown venues pretty much are doing something, and it's all available at VivaPHX.com. All you got to do is RSVP for most of them.
Yeah, I do see that. You really do got to get on the website, because like Friday alone, there's something happening at Thunderbird Lounge, the McKinley Club Yard, Wilson Studios, and all different times. So folks kind of have to map out probably where they want to go, what time they want to try to hit up these different places that are involved.
Yeah, and I think that was the goal, is we wanted to give something for everyone, and we just have so many incredible makers and talented people here in Phoenix that we really wanted to be able to showcase diversity and give people options.
Now, we see some of these images of the food. How important is food to the overall festival?
I think culinary is something that Phoenix is very well known for. We have a couple of James Beard Award winners in our backyard. And so I think culinary is kind of a through line across every day. People gather for food, and our tagline is culture happens when we're together. So I think a lot of that happens over food.
That's great. Yeah. What are some of the highlights in terms of when we head downtown and we're looking around? What can we expect to eat?
Well, I think probably the biggest event in the queue, we're doing a special activation called United Plates of Arizona, featuring Chris Bianco, Jimmy from Bad Jimmy's, and Renee Cheeto. So 2 James Beard Award winners and one of the best burgers in town coming together to do a collaborative menu.
That is amazing.
Oh, I see that. And that's happening Sunday at Roland's Market, 2 p.m.?
Yes.
Okay. So do folks, do you need a ticket to that specific event, or how does that work?
Is you RSVP and show up. There may be some queue lines. It depends on when you get there, but at the end of the day, nothing's required to get in.
Okay.
Oh, that's so great.
Wow.
I want to
There's a lot
also
happening.
just talk a little bit about downtown Phoenix. You know, we have flown the drone over the city over the many years. We have such a great drone team here. And the images we see of the downtown area, what do you think? What has really been behind the blossoming of downtown Phoenix and why so many people have moved into the downtown area in the last, say, 5 to 7 years?
Well, I think as a person who's lived in Arizona my whole life and been a homeowner in downtown for the last 10 years, I really do think it's the culinary, it's the arts, it's the diversity of activations. You can go to a Suns game and eat a James Beard Award-winning taco. Like, there's just so much going on all the time down here. It's almost hard to encapsulate. And I also think specifically one of our big partners, GPEC, has put a lot of energy and time into setting the necessary infrastructure for businesses to really flourish down here and supporting them. And I should mention, for any entrepreneurs in downtown out there, we have a panel on Saturday at Civic Space Park where our friends at GPEC are announcing their new campaign for downtown Phoenix. It's called A New Way to City, and we're really excited about that one.
Really? Can you give us a preview at all? What are we going to be talking about? I know they are talking about creating more park space downtown.
Yeah, I think there's going to be members from the small business community. There's going to be people from Visit Phoenix, obviously one of our big partners, and another big reason why downtown has been really developing with all the work they do at the convention center and making sure that outside parties come to Arizona. So I think it's going to be an interesting discussion about really answering your question as to how we got here and where we go next.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's Saturday, Civic Space Park. It's happening at, is it 3:30?
That's correct.
Okay.
Love it.
All right, perfect.
Okay, well, JT, good luck. I think you'll be a busy guy the next few days.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you both out there.
All right,
Yeah,
you got it.
thank you.
Wow, just like that, we got to wrap up.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, we are proud to be part of downtown Phoenix right here at Fox
oh my goodness,
10.
this sounds like a party going